Dear colleagues, welcome to Utrecht, and first of all, my sincere apologies for not being there to talk to you in person. I have to talk to you in digital form because at this very moment my students are making an exam that I have to supervise. In any case, a special welcome for those who are new to ICTng. In case you don't know me, my name is Cynthia Liem. I'm an assistant professor at TU Delft and this year the president of ICTng. The ICT Next Generation Network was established in order for us to create a stronger community of assistant and associate professors working in ICT across the Netherlands. We felt that generally, in our generation, we were not so much encouraged to talk with each other across disciplines, rather mostly within discipline, internationally, in our community. But it is important to know each other in the country too, because ultimately we all are at Dutch institutes, basically contributing to the Dutch ICT agenda. And for that, it will be good to know who we are, what we're interested in, and how we can support each other. One of the missions of ICTng therefore has been to support networking. And for that, we have been organizing several events like the one you are attending right now. You might have seen us earlier. Some of you might have been more familiar with ICTng already. For that, I, for example, also would like to refer back to ICT Open last March, in which we organized failure drinks, basically celebrating professional failures, inspired by the blog of a colleague of ours in the community, Veronica Czepligina at TU Eindhoven. That was a great success. We were well seen, and at that moment also I got the chance to speak to Maarten van Steen, the current president of IPN, the National ICT Research Platform for the Netherlands. And with that, I'm coming to the second mission of ICTng, which is to establish a strategic collective voice for ICT in the Netherlands on behalf of the younger generation. This was an ambition we've been having for long, but admittedly, in past years, we hadn't been that successful on that realm yet. Also because generally there wasn't a clear national support for us. But as said, we've been working on that. And thanks to conversations we had in the past few months, ICTng has now been admitted to IPN as an extraordinary member. As a consequence, I'm now being invited to sit in the meetings of IPN, which basically discuss ICT across the country, having representatives at different universities, but also representatives of different interest groups. And I'd like to use this position to really indeed have our collective voice being represented. As one concrete example, at the first meeting I attended last June, one discussion of which people of IPN felt there was a need for a national level discussion and alignment is the topic of career development, and clearly especially career development for tenure trackers and young academics. Now that is something that should not only be discussed at a senior level, but for which it would be good to consult also the actual people who are in that career stage, being us. So for this, some seniors in our field are currently discussing and aligning some information on how career development currently happens across the country and where there might be bottlenecks in there. As a consequence, after that, they will go to us, to ICTng, and ask us for a reaction on behalf of our generation in the country. Clearly, this reaction should not be written only by me, because I'm just an individual. It should be written by us, and for that I will need your input. What we more concretely want to do with ICTng in general is to create a stronger national presence by having different tables of ICTng in the different universities in the country that all do ICT research and education. With this message, I'd like to formally call for all of you to consider becoming the contact person for your university on this. Through that, I'd like to establish several local satellites. I'd like to then ask for your help in case there is any news to be discussed with colleagues, like for example input from IPN, to then call for your colleagues in your university, collectively discuss any discussion points we would have, and then also prepare some feedback to us. Again, this is very important to prove to IPN and the country that we are actually indeed a collective strong voice. Beyond this, there are a few other community calls which maybe are a bit less official that we are working on. For example, one thing that we felt at our past networking meeting in November was that many young academics in our generation are in need of mentoring. they would like to get some advice from a senior member in our field, who, however, is not their supervisor. Based on that, we already put out some surveys to solicit interest. However, interestingly enough, we did not actually get that much response back. And I'm not sure if that is just because of email overload or suboptimal visibility of ICTng, or because ultimately you don't want to be mentored after all. In any case, I'm not fully convinced yet that the mentoring interest is not there anymore, so I'd like to reinstate this call. In case you would have interest in this mentoring program, please announce yourself. In case you know good senior mentors, please also propose them. And we will then, if there is enough interest, work on establishing this very lightweight mentoring program across the country. Beyond that, there are a few other initiatives that are going. For example, we try to work now also on a nationwide community call after the modeling of NIRICT. NIRICT was where we originally grew from, a platform for the 4 TUs, the 4 technical universities in the country. And the NIRICT community call asks for emerging community initiatives that will then be sponsored to get some first events going and some first actions going. And for NIRICT, this call requires that 3 out of the 4 technical universities are represented in a consortium. For the nationwide call, we are currently talking to different parties, including Comet, to establish a call that will involve at least 3 people across the country at different universities who are in the ICTng generation. And hopefully that will also help us to create this dialogue actively, also content-wise, across this country. In all cases, again, this is not an initiative for me on my own or the ICTng board on their own. It's something for us all. And it's then critical that indeed we can see there's enough support across the country. So I hope you will support us. I hope you will have valuable experiences also today. And we hope to especially see also some help from your side in terms of becoming these contact points and spreading also the ICTng word to your colleagues who are not here today. We are working on improving our communication channels, on creating also a more active online presence. This is something that we as current board members cannot do on our own given the other tasks that are there. But we're currently working also on hiring a more dedicated program and community communications manager to support us on that. And hopefully with that we will very soon increase this visibility of ICTng. Already on that field steps are being made. Recently NWO also kind of helped promoting me, featuring me in the IO magazine, which is the national ICT magazine of the country. And yeah, we are increasingly being seen and valued. And now we have to really show we are a community. I hope you will have a great day today. Have fun, have some useful interactions. I hope you'll get to meet each other and talk. And I hope to hear from you soon also in terms of support to our initiatives. Thank you very much and hope to see you soon in person.